Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe here with Abnormal Discoveries. It's a little something new for the channel there, as a result of an earlier video that was placed on here about me and my queen learning that we were both autistic, according to a test that we both took there. Of course, in my case, in my case, both autistic and ADHD. So yeah, in addition to that discovery, be sure y'all check out that video as well. That's gonna be some additional videos for this new playlist here. Basically, as it states, Abnormal Discoveries. So yeah, some very odd things there. Today's video is gonna be ducks, traffic lights, and road maps. So or better yet, road maps. Yeah. So strap yourself in and let's take a listen. Also, before we start the video, make sure y'all definitely subscribe to the channel, like, share. Make sure to definitely check out other videos, especially book updates, stuff like that, as well as also buy available comic books and support us on Patreon. Also, definitely a big shout out to Patreon EJ the Supreme. Oh yeah, EJ the Supreme. And also a sponsor for this month, our very own Keon Smith, one of my employees, one of my co-workers. Sorry, there's a co-worker from where I work, for my day job where I work at. Gave us a little sponsorship for the month there. So yeah, thanks to those two. You can definitely do just like them. Like I say, become a Patreon, or just maybe have a sponsor video as well. So yeah, so definitely shout out to those two and get yourself some shout out as well as also other perks by supporting us on Patreon there. So anyway, on with the video. So anyway, why ducks, traffic lights, and road maps? Well, okay, so one of the things growing up, let's start with the ducks. Yeah. It's also an much earlier video when I first started this channel of Christina and I going to the duck pond, as y'all saw. If you hadn't, definitely check that out as well. My grandpa and I, when I was growing up, we've gone to he has taken me to the duck pond a lot growing up. Used to like feed them bread and stuff like that, but now they, as you'll see if you hadn't seen it already, they now encourage you to use seeds, stuff like that. It's a lot easier for them to eat and stuff like that, because when they ate that bread, they have to dip it in some water in order to get it down there. So the seeds are a lot better for them to manage, much like, you know, how birds eat seeds in general. So yeah, in my visits to the duck pond growing up, I envisioned myself having a pet duck once. Like you know how most kids would want like a pet dog or a cat or a hamster or a goldfish. I actually had the goldfish there, but I didn't do so well with the goldfish. Just being honest there. And only other thing I've had besides a goldfish was an ant farm, and well, that was probably even worse than the goldfish. And yeah. And considering our encounters with ants currently, yeah, definitely not going to be seeing no ant farm in the house. So back with the ducks. Yeah, I definitely wanted a pet duck. I kind of imagine myself, like, you know, taking one of the ducks home straight from the pond, and actually, yeah, taking them home and stuff like that. And I guess also part of that was also from seeing the Aflac duck, you know. Aflac! 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 Gilbert Gottfried, God rest your soul. Yeah. Can we give the bird a little dignity? So, yeah, but, you know, obviously, yeah, that probably would not be likely to happen. That I don't think, yeah, ducks is, don't think there's any pet stores that have ducks there, like tame ducks or anything like that. Yeah, of all the animals they have, I have not seen a pet store with a duck, so yeah, that would be highly unlikely. And now I know some people have may have possibly brought ducks in from the wild. I guess that's all depending on how that went. I know recently there's a commercial for the I think the Dawn liquid soap of how it's able to clean oil spills off of a baby duck there because it's kills so much bacteria. But they weren't necessarily trying to keep that duck as a pet. They would pretty much, as they did in the commercial, just, you know, clean the duck up, and then, you know, then they released the duck back out, you know, with the duck's family. So yeah, it was a different situation. So yeah, not really much on the pet duck thing, but now here the traffic lights. So yeah, and this all now the ducks. Now the fascination with ducks don't seem too abnormal for one, you know, because I mean, yeah, I mean, kids wanting a pet, even something like ducks, yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because all kids have at least different kinds of animals that they would get into. Yeah, that's pretty normal. So a little abnormal territory now. There was one point that I had because of my fascination with traffic lights, I actually for some weird reason was like thought about a traffic light as a pet. Yeah, that and see, this was due, like I just say, my fascination with traffic lights. Because whenever like you know, we pass by the traffic lights all the time going down the road, and I always yeah, like the different signals, like they got left turn, different kinds of left turn signal traffic lights. And one of my favorite outside of here in Shreveport, I really like the traffic lights the way they look in Houston. Oh boy, because Houston, Texas, and I think there's some other parts of Texas they have it, but I saw a lot of them in Houston, Texas. They have the left turn signals that have two red lights on left turns, and then the yellow light, and then the green arrow. And it will be lined up going the long way, like the way my phone is filming this here. And that really fascinated me, much like you know, the traffic lights in general, and still kind of do. So I at one point imagined having a traffic light as a pet. Because also there was one of the malls that we have out here, St. Vincent Mall, which I know a lot of the malls are dying now, but back before they started to die, the malls apparently aren't like Bruce Wayne, where they're too stubborn to die. Or maybe they are. But the St. Vincent Mall had I think, yeah, that's what I think it was, the St. Vincent Mall, where in, I think, one of the shops going like upstairs, I think it was either JCPenney's or I think JCPenney's or Dillard's. I would want to say Sears, but I think it's more, I think it was more JCPenney's or Dillard's. When you went upstairs, there was this big traffic light, just a base, you know, like the basic red, yellow, green sort of a, I want to say the coloring was sort of like yellow orange. And it would be in one of the areas kind of in the back of the upstairs part of the store, going, you know, like switching between the colors and stuff like that. And that was the light I had in mind, the traffic light I had in mind when I imagined having the traffic light as a pet. So yeah, like I say, that so yeah, you probably be like, well, why on earth would you imagine a traffic light as a pet? I don't know. I just did back then. That was like I said, there is and like I said, I'm gonna be having some other videos of explaining things, and also other tales, in addition to, you know, other stuff on the channel. But yeah, I just did. That's just how I thought. I guess it was sort of like how the same way I thought of something like chocolate Cheetos one time. Yeah, you'll hear that. I might explain about that in another video. So, unless of course y'all ask about it in the comment section. So yeah, that was what I had one time. I pictured, like I said, I don't know why, I just kind of did. So along with that, just a little bit more about my traffic light fascination. There was even another thing I fantasized. You know how, like you have a lot of these documentary channels and stuff like that, like especially, and then like with PBS and all that. I had imagined a channel called the Traffic Light Channel, and and how I envisioned it was, it would be pretty much just like, I guess like, say if you're driving and you have somebody in the car with you with the video camera, and just, you know, passing by the traffic lights, filming them. And like in slow, like and yeah, so sort of like that, and like seeing them function and stuff like that. Yeah, probably. I guess that channel probably would not get very many views there, because people be like, I guess the norm would be like, why on earth is there a channel of nothing but showing traffic lights? I mean. Yeah, but that was one of the things I imagined there. Why? I just did. Because, like I say, I was fascinated with traffic lights, and yeah, I guess with knowing that in mind, I guess I really can't point fingers at SpongeBob now, can I? Because they had an episode about writing an essay on a stoplight, and then, oh, we're not going to write the essay. We're just going to take a field trip to a stoplight instead. I was like, you're gonna get in the school bus and actually go up there. That's just a field trip to just a random stoplight. I mean, what are you gonna do when you get there? Just look at it? But like I say, guess I can't really point fingers now, because, you know, remembering about my fascination with traffic lights. So I guess I'd probably be one of the ones on that bus then. So, yeah, so there was that. And now for the last thing in the video, road maps. I also had a fascination with road maps, like the map of Shreveport, and I think I might be able to get to it there, because I did show it in one. I showed it in an earlier video. Okay. Sorry about that. So I actually showed this in, I think it's my Yumiko update video, the second one that I had recently released a while back. It feels like I'm on top of the world up here. But this right here, my Shreveport City Bossier map. Now this one, I'm not sure when I bought this here, but I know this was actually purchased I would say some point, I would say anywhere within my 20s, because I'm 35 now, but anywhere while I was still like, I would say like early 20s, maybe mid 20s. I recently have purchased this because I actually had a map just like this, was similar to this, but it looked a little different when I was a kid. I don't know where that one is. That's one reason I bought this one. But it was, I mean, it really, and this one's like starting to, let's see, show you like that. Oh boy. Yeah, you could see kind of part of it, kind of like how it looks and everything. There's some tears in it, and there's a few little tears and few little small holes from being folded and unfolded. Cause these, I guess that's one reason why we got navigators and GPSs, as well as also Google Map in our phones now, because yeah, after a while something like this really does start to wear, and that can be a problem, especially trying to go on the road. Only way this kind of thing would work having on the road is if you got a passenger in the seat with you to read the directions to the driver. So yeah, but yeah, I had a fascination with this, with road maps like this, to the point that I actually had, and I did explain this in my Yumiko update video, but just in case you haven't seen it, you're hearing it here. Made my own map where I had like made up my own streets and stuff like that. Like I had the Matthew Mark Highway, Jordan River Road. There was even a street named after me in the map, obviously, Gabriel Road. So, and then there was some others like Sale Avenue and stuff like that. A lot of these street names you'll probably hear in my Yumiko story. And also I'm thinking of even putting, obviously, some duck characters in the story as well, since I mentioned ducks earlier. Obviously, I won't be using Donald or Daffy Duck, because then I'd have Warner Brothers and Disney coming after me. Donald Duck is our creation. We're gonna sue you for that. Yeah. And you can't use Daffy either. I'm gonna sue you as well, Doc. Nothing personal. So, yeah, but yeah, there would be some duck characters in the story, as well as also street names, stuff I came up with when I made up my own roadmap. As for the traffic light thing, yeah, it's a possibility, but I don't know how exactly I would bring that into play. And then one thing I forgot to mention about the traffic lights fascination, which this could possibly be a way of doing it. Any of y'all that's watching Digimon, like they have like all the Digimon names and then Mon, unlike Pokemon didn't have that, but for the Digimon, all their names ended in Mon, like Agumon, Gabumon, Patamon, all that. Well, I had made up a Digimon called Traffic Light Mon that had different attacks from its like the different lights on it, like red light freeze. Not sure what the other two were called, but I know it involved the yellow and the green. So yeah, it might be something like that. And strangely, when I look back on like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they had a giant turtle that had a traffic light in its shell that the Power Rangers had fought in one episode. So yeah, the traffic light has actually worked in something there. So had a use somewhere. So yeah, yeah, like I said, yeah, I had duck. Wanted a pet duck. 1.1 wanted a pet traffic light. And imagine some things involving the traffic lights. And also also made up some things with road maps. So yeah, that's about 3 of my abnormal discoveries. Well, I guess technically speaking, I guess you could say 2 of them are more abnormal. Traffic light and the road map fascination. probably more so the traffic light, especially the fact of wanting a pet traffic light. That's probably the biggest of it. You might not think so much of the road map one, but yeah. And like I say, the ducks, I mean, kids in general, have interest in different kind of animals there, you know, so yeah, there. So that was that, yeah. That's pretty much what I can think of for this video, yeah. So and one thing I can definitely say about the abnormality of these type of interests, probably more than likely had something to do with, you know, autism there, because like I say, you know, I mean, what kid do you know, or person in general, that would have that kind of fascination with traffic lights and road maps there? Ducks maybe, but traffic lights and road maps, yeah, especially the traffic light part. So yep, that was so that's a few of many abnormal discoveries that you have yet to hear, because there will be more in other videos. So definitely stay tuned, say, for when other videos come up, as well as, you know, other stuff that's coming up as well. Again, like what you saw, definitely like, share, subscribe, buy our comic books, support us on Patreon. Shout out to our Patreon again, EJ the Supreme, as well as also our month sponsor, Keon Smith, for your monthly sponsor contribution. So yeah, for this month, we will be mentioning a shout out to Keon Smith for his sponsorship there, as well. And then of course, you know, sponsorship video is up there. So yep, definitely so definitely get on that Patreon so you can be a pledger like old EJ, or you can sponsor like Keon. So yep, and that's all for here, and we will see y'all in the next video. Take care, everybody.